With over 30 bosses, 10 character classes, and killer graphics, Lords of the Fallen is a new Souls-like game that is taking a lot of people by surprise. And it's coming very soon. It was originally touted as a sequel, but is now being called a dual reboot to the original action RPG from 2014. Let me explain. Welcome to Gameless Plus. I'm Josh, and here are 5 reasons Lords of the Fallen is turning heads. Fair warning, this video has some very creepy and dark elements and some blood and violence. It is not for kids. With that being said, let's get started with number 5, top-notch graphics. The developers are using Unreal Engine 5 for this game. There are a ton of games using this system on the horizon, but this is one of the first games we get to really see what it can do in full playable form. From straight up lighting effects to textures to elemental effects, this game is looking quite polished. The very fundamentals of Unreal Engine change the feel of games in a lot of ways, like giving much more intricate detail, massive worlds, better animation, and ease of use all around. Really though, look at the intricate detail on this armor. When the camera comes in close, we can see the high resolution detail they put into this. Along with the detail, Unreal 5's chaos physics engine gives clothes, chains, hair, belts, etc. a much more natural movement, which really helps to breathe life into the characters with a more immersive and lifelike feel. Unreal's Lumen technology is used in the environments to give beautiful and detailed realistic lighting effects. I mean, look at this. These are actual next-gen graphics. You know what, actually, I need to stop saying next gen. This is current gen. This is actually where we are now. We've arrived at the kind of graphical fidelity that we were teased with when Unreal Engine 5 was announced and showcased years ago. I'm excited to see how well this is actually executed. Lords of the Fallen will undoubtedly look the best on high-end PCs, but I'm sure we will still get an eyeful on PS5 and Xbox Series X as well. Xbox Series S, well, you know, it's coming out on that system too, but let's be realistic. Don't expect all that ray tracing magical quality on that system. Look at this area called Calrath. It's a barbaric area that seems to be perpetually on fire. These fire and smoke effects are looking very nice. It'll be great to see all of this running in full quality very soon. Next, at number 4, full co-op multiplayer. At any of the checkpoints in this game, you can choose to team up and play with a friend or a randomly selected player who wants to join. This feature is probably my favorite announced about the Lords of the Fallen. You can play together for as long as you choose. If you're really trying to get detailed with a friend, you can plan ahead and pick the right team of character builds to really enhance your experience together. One of you can be better with buffs and enhancements, while the other one is more of a tank, or just whatever sounds fun. There's a huge variety of options with so many different character classes that I'll go over later in the video. I have to say, the multiplayer in this combat just looks like a lot of fun. The fact that you can spend your entire playthrough exploring the world together is one of the things that I absolutely love about online gaming in 2023. I've never been a big fan of just going online to battle and kill each other. For me, cooperative gameplay is the way to go. Especially if you can connect with friends who no longer live near you. It's a great way to connect in full-on game sessions from afar. I mean, come on, even if you live down the street, it's still fun to play together online. Coming in at number 3, Parallel Worlds. Lords of the Fallen is set in a vast and sprawling double world called the Twin Realms. These lands are known as Axiom and Umbral, and they are connected at all times like two sides of the same coin, they say. When you're inevitably killed in Axiom, the realm of the living, you will continue in Umbral, the realm of the dead. Each world features its own unique pathways, enemies, characters, and of course, treasures. As you progress, you will find little patches of flowers where you can create vestige seedlings, which are creepy dead bodies planted in the ground with tendrils growing out of their faces. How cute. These act as checkpoints where you can travel back to the land of the living. When in Axiom, you can hold up your umbral lamp at any time to peer into the land of the dead. Not only that, but you can hold it up and walk on pathways that only exist in that world to get to new areas within Axiom as well. This is a very creative gameplay mechanic that I think is going to work very well. When you have that window open though, monsters from the other world can come right through and attack you, or pull you in to fight them. You can use the lamp at any time to travel to Umbral, but it uses up one of your 2 lives. But hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. You'll also be able to use the lamp to manipulate the environment while in Umbral. Opening up new pathways seems to be the main use of the lamp. As you travel, you will come across permanent vestiges that will allow you to travel between worlds and also level up your stats. One of the other cool gameplay elements of your Umbral lamp is using it to soul flay, where you yank the soul out of an enemy to beat it up before it can be recombined with its body. It also seems you can summon helpful allies from Umbral, like these not so adorable little fire-breathing wolves. Who wants to burn up some demons? That's a good little flame doggy. Good boy. Oh. And at number 2, impressive characters and bosses. You'll be able to create your own fully customizable and unique character in this game using Unreal Engine 5's Zone character customization technology to form just the right body type and other features. Along with your character's look, there are 10 character classes to play as. The Blackfeather Ranger that is best for starting at a ranged distance, a Condemned, which is a masochistic expert level starting character, the Exile Stalker, who is basically a rogue, the Hallowed Knight, which is a versatile, more beginner level class, the Morningstead Infantry with long range weapons like spears, the Orion Preacher with a hammer for his main weapon, the Partisan with his flail and crossbow, the Pirate Cultist with their fiery magic, the Warwolf with a giant longsword that is basically the Barbarian class, and finally the Dark Crusader, who is the star character and poster boy for Lords of the Fallen. He's an all-around class that you can get at the start of the game if you buy the Deluxe Edition, or you can unlock him after you've played as another character first in the Standard Edition of the game. Is this the game publisher's way of possibly trying to get more money out of people who don't have time to play as other characters before they get to this character? Maybe. It wouldn't be a Souls-like game without interesting and diverse bosses, each with different ways they attack and methods of defeating them. From flying bosses like Pieta, who whoosh around and rain swords down on you, to a strange, mask-headed baddie that you can only hit from the back, to massive, creepy monstrosities like the Scourge of Calrath with his dead eyes and freaky hand mouth. Each of these bosses have some kind of interesting backstory or lore attached to them, giving them more depth than simply being ugly and brutal. There are reportedly more than 30 bosses in this game, with over half of them having multiple phases. Clearly, there is no shortage of interesting, bizarre, and downright creepy baddies in this game. Finally, the top reason Lords of the Fallen is turning heads. At number 1, true Souls-like challenge and gameplay. The original was released in 2014 and was generally acknowledged as fun, but not quite Souls-like in challenge. The developers want you to think of this game as a reboot. Given it's the exact same name as the 2014 game, they call it a spiritual successor, but it's so different from the original that it's almost like they want you to forget the first one ever happened. The original was more of a hack-and-slash arcade-style game, and was far less challenging than the likes of Dark Souls. It had major balance issues without being able to adjust the difficulty, making it a little too easy for players who want a real challenge. This game is supposed to be very challenging. This is obviously one of those elements that cannot be guaranteed, but we can all hope. I'm hopeful. The story is set long after the first game, where the demon god Adir is resurrecting, and you must stop her in what they are saying is a vast and immersive story. Melee, magic, and ranged abilities are blended together fluidly in combat. Alongside those are methods of attack like crossbows, elemental catalyst weapons, bows, or throwables that can be mapped on up to 4 buttons on your controller, which will allow you to customize the controls to your preferred style, making your effectiveness in battle fit just the way you like. This should make the combat fast and engaging, not having to switch between a bunch of different abilities. There are said to be hundreds of unique and brutal weapons to slaughter your enemies with, which seems a little over the top, but options are great. From what's been shown so far, it looks like we are on the right track to getting a great Souls-like, challenging, character-rich game. The gothic aesthetic and punishing bosses will be a welcome addition to the gaming landscape for all the Elden Ring, Demon's Souls, and Dark Souls players who are hungry for more punishment. This game is coming out very appropriately on Friday the 13th of October for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. So, what do you think? Can the gameplay truly compete with that of Elden Ring or Dark Souls or any of those? Will you be playing this in the multiplayer mode or just flying solo? And what would you, my subscribers, like to see me make a video about? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more of my videos as they come out, hit the subscribe button. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me on GameList Plus.